Hey, how's it going? Let's go for a road trip. Currently, I'm home in Arlington, Texas, gassing up for a rather exciting road trip. We're going all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas to do some work for MTV. Rather than use this just as like a travel vlog opportunity, I want to talk about my work because I've been doing television work for over a year now. There's a lot of stuff I've learned in the last year that I didn't know going into this. So I figured I would maybe disseminate some of that in case any of you are wondering or want to do it. By the way, we got the banquet cap, okay? Coors Banquet, if you're watching this, let's talk. So I've been wanting to do a video about like college for a while, and I don't know if I'll ever get around to it, but the gist of it kind of ties into this, so that's where I'll start. I went to film school for a little bit, and then I ended up switching to broadcast. It's a long story, but through it all, I learned that college, for me anyways, was mostly pointless. Mostly. Most of the stuff that we went over during my years was just the same that I did for YouTube. And at the end of it, I got a degree, but I don't know if I've ever used my degree. Like, I definitely have never gotten a job with it. I met a guy that dropped out of high school. I've met dudes who never even went to college. I met people that went to college for all kinds of weird like biochemistry and computer science and like, it's not that helpful. This industry is 100% who you know. And I got my first job because a friend of mine that I met in film school was working on the Yellowstone prequel because they were shooting in Fort Worth, and he recommended me to a guy who needed someone for something else. That was entirely it. Nobody looked me up on my resume. I didn't apply for jobs. He was just like, you should hire this guy. And they hired me. Can you believe that? My first job was for Discovery Channel. I worked on an investigation discovery show called Murder Under the Friday Night Lights.
High school football, it's like church.
It unites our community.
And it just wasn't possible that anything bad could ever touch our world.
There's a killer among us.
Murder Under the Friday Night Lights, all new, Tuesdays at 10 on ID.
It was me, 2 camera guys, and 2 producers. That's it. I always thought that all television productions were really big, you know? And they're not. A lot of them, pretty much all the ones I've done, are like skeleton crews. It's insane. It's like 4 dudes that they send out and they get the job done, and they're really good at it. I thought all like studios and companies owned their crew basically. I thought that like they had the same directors and, you know, videographers and editors and all that stuff. And that's another thing that I was totally wrong about. I mean, some have them. Marvel obviously has like in-house directors, but like in television, it's just, hey, I got a good recommendation for you. Can you come onto this job and be our camera guy? And that's it. And they also own all their equipment for the most part. Like everyone I've worked on, the camera guy owns his stuff. So I pick these guys up from the airport and we load the back of my truck with like $100,000 worth of equipment, and it's all his lenses and cameras and stuff. I mean, that's just crazy. That's the sign that said New Boston. There's a New Boston? Hey, I'm walking here. But 2022, I'm stopping for gas. I didn't even realize it's gonna be in New Boston. I'm in New Boston, baby. Hey, I'm walking here. Ain't no way they got a GameStop in New Boston. Hey, I'm walking.
Gotta piss at the Walmart.
What if it was Bart Mart? Holy shit. I think I just like came up with something. That's kind of fire. Bart Mart? Oh, my first come and go.
But
Let's go! Home sweet home for the next couple days. This is actually probably my second job ever that's traveled me. And look at how sick this is. I get a hotel room. Outside, looks like there's just a dead mall I'll probably run over and check that out. And then you can't see it from here, but just around that corner is a red lobster. Man, look at these trees. They're pretty. Let's take a look at the anti-boredom preparations. Book, switch. The work I typically do is production assistant work. And now if you're thinking, production assistant, that kind of sounds like the little grunt, the little foot soldier, the lowly peon. You'd be correct. It's a production assistant's job to basically like help make anything go. Like you're literally just like a little,
Yes, master. If it is your will, it shall be done.
Hello, Mario.
but I mean that also comes with the boon of knowing that you make the whole thing happen. Like it sounds kind of cocky, but without production assistants, nothing would get done. I remember for my first gig, I picked up the entire team from the airport and drove them all the way out to the place. And I helped set up the cameras and, you know, take care of the people being interviewed, scout locations, just everything, carry equipment, all that. Also, just so you know, production assistants get paid a pretty decent amount. I'm gonna take a little break though. I'm tired. I've been driving for like 6 hours. Obviously, I don't want to be a production assistant forever, so it begs the question, how do you move up? And the simple answer is a lot of work. Just working as much as you can. The more you work, the more credits you'll get, the more people you know. Now there's 3 main ways to get work. The first one is, obviously, as we discussed, networking, knowing people who need guys and you're reliable. You pick up work pretty quick that way. The second way that I tend to do it is through websites. Now the main one I use is called Staff Me Up. Staff Me Up is a lot like Indeed, if you've ever used that. So people will post jobs in an area or a region that they need. You can apply for them, put a little cover letter, send a resume in, and then if they pick you up, they'll contact you. So I get a lot of work off of Staff Me Up. There's a couple other sites. I don't remember the names. It's like Backstage or Talent Casting, something like that. The third place that you'll find work is Facebook groups. This is one I just recently discovered with stand-up comedy and with television production jobs. There's a billion Facebook groups for every state. You typically look up like your state casting calls or, you know, crew needed, that kind of stuff. And if you join those groups, people are always posting when they need people. If only I was this good at golf in real life. Thank you. Oh no, tree. The simple fact is, if you want to work, you have to be hungry for it. Like, you have to always be available. You have to always be ready. I actually quit my day job this year, this summer in June. For the first time, I went all in on freelancing and television production and stuff like that. And it's definitely been a doozy. I think you can do it if you are like on your own. It's definitely way harder, you know, where I'm renting a house and I have a baby. But if you're like, you know, in your 20s, living in an apartment by yourself, you could probably do it. I would try and do both for a little bit though, just to make sure. And the work is fun, it's really cool, but it's not easy. You have to be ready to, you know, bust your ass, keep your mouth shut, stay out of the way, stay off your phone, be focused, always listening. People will pick up on that. If you're attentive and you're a go-getter and you do stuff without having to be asked, you know, it carries over, so.
And my eyes get low in that all-white truck, I can barely see.
Going for a brief little walk in the rain. On the other side of this mall is a place called the Purple Cow. And apparently they have a purple milkshake. And I have to try it. I like purple, it's in my intro. Okay, the purple milkshake is both very purple and very good. Look at how good this thing looked, bro. This looked like some shit out of that like live action Cat in the Hat movie with Mike Myers.
We need to know.
You're never gonna see Grimace again.
He crushed me.
Hello
Hello from the not-so-distant past. As stated earlier, this video was made in December of 2022, and I'm sitting here in June of 2023 enjoying my Grimace birthday shake from McDonald's, and it's got me wondering, how do I do it? How do I always have my finger on the pulse of society? Now, I know a much more reasonable explanation for all this is that I simply willed this into existence. I manifested it by creating a funny edit. And so for all those who enjoyed their Grimace birthday shakes this summer, feel free to thank me in the comments. I will be replying to all thank yous for the first 24 hours after this video goes live. Okay, so the people in the room next to me are like insane. Like they have to be out of their minds. They're screaming, slamming things around, and then like singing, chanting. I've been trying to record it, but like they just stop every time I do. But like the doors outside are opening and shutting, and like at one point I heard some chick say like babe, that hurts, and the guy was like, I don't care. What is up in Little Rock?
You're just what I needed. Just what I needed.
Well, folks, that concludes an exciting little trip to Arkansas.
America explain!
I hope you learned something cool, if that's what you came here for, and if not, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Okay, it's almost time to leave. I have an oil leak, and I just decided to check my oil before leaving, and I'm completely out, so I'm just gonna take care of that real quick, and then the vlog will be over. He's mad. He's mad.